It's like miracle after miracle after miracle, and it is going so fast. I literally can't keep up. And it's fine because you don't have to be in control. But I feel like I'm one of those rides where they're chains, like they're chains with a seat, and you think, oh, that's a nice swing, I'll get on that. And then it goes round like this and it goes up in the air and you're like, oh, but it feels like you're flying. It's just that you weren't prepared to be flying. So it's kind of like, I haven't packed for this. I don't have the outfits.
After Alpha, after you've gone through this whole thing, you find yourself going to HTB and you decide to...
Even that's a miracle. Even that is a miracle. I mean, it's just a miracle.
Well, let's slow the train down. What happened? How was it? I want to hear it.
Look, Alpha is a miracle because I don't leave the house unless it's to go to work or to get food or to take the kids somewhere. So occasionally I might go for a yoga class, but very occasionally. So most of the things I do, I'm doing while I'm doing those things. So the idea that I would be able to get 2 hours away every Wednesday is impossible because Ed's not there and I don't have childcare. So how on earth am I going to be? So I turn up the first day. I'm like, well, I'm not going to be able to do it again. But then I just feel compelled to go. And I think, oh, and I mean, the next week I'm in Cornwall with Mel. I'm like 6 hours away. And it just transpires that we can't get the plane that we planned to get on Thursday before I knew about Alpha. The only plane we can get is on Wednesday, which gets us into London. So I'm like, oh, so now I'm going to be in London on Wednesday, but I have no childcare. Ed's away. Then I say to my friend, hey, could you come and stay with my kids in a hotel? And she's like, no, you must come to my house. I'll look after them. And Leo won't go with anyone else. So I take the kids to her house and Leo thinks her husband's Batman. So he goes off with him and they all just walk off for a pizza, skipping away. And I'm like, and they live like 10 minutes from HTB. So then I jump on a tube and I'm like, this is bonkers. And so every week I've been turning up at Alpha with a massive suitcase because I've come from Cornwall, I've come from Kent, I've come from Scotland, I just on my way places end up, and it's just been, there's only 1 week that I'd made a commitment to work, and if I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. So I went to the place and I missed it like mad, and I just ended up telling everyone about Alpha and asking people about it. But it's like I miss people. And one week when I went, one of the other people in my group said, it's like you've got, what did she say? A longing for the Lord. And I'm like, yeah, that is what it feels like.
So you went to Alpha. You want to go to church now. You go to your local place. You have this wacky experience with this weird Christian who doesn't do anything. And then your Alpha leader says, well, just come to HTB once a month. Now you're showing up at HTB.
All right, miracle number 732. So Leo doesn't like the noise in the big top, yeah? So there's all the worship going on. It's like loads and loads of Christians. So I stand outside with Leo. So as I'm standing outside, I'm saying to myself, this is what it's always like. We go to a place, I end up standing outside with Leo. What is the point of me being here? It's easier for me to be at home with Leo if I'm going to entertain a strong 5-year-old. So I'm sitting there cheering him on. This guy comes up to me, this black guy, and he points at me, and I'm like, he's got a woman with him. I'm like, if you are trying to chat me up, I swear this would just be the icing on the cake. This is why I don't like people and I avoid going anywhere and getting involved in any communities. And then he's pointing at me, and I thought, you don't know me because I literally know no one here. So you don't know me. And he points at me and goes, you're Jazz. And I'm like, what? Yes, I am. Who are you? He says, I was at Teach Me Enfield last week. I heard you talk. You blew me away. You're incredible. This is my wife. She does a female Christian entrepreneur coaching course. I was telling her about you. It's amazing to meet you. And I'm like, what? Because one of the things I was saying is like, what if Jesus only shows up on a Wednesday in South Kent? And my big thing is my work is such a big part of what I do. And in fact, when I told one of the guys when I missed Alpha, I said, oh, I think I'm doing this Jesus thing. I think I'm doing this Jesus thing. And he laughed and he said, Jazz, you've been doing the Jesus thing for a year. You just didn't know. Look, this could all be just a coincidence. But do you know what? It feels like the universe is going out of its way to connect the dots. And like I said, it feels like Jesus has been sat down reading a newspaper all this time. And I've suddenly woke up and gone, oh, and he's like, oh, you ready? Great, let's go. And I've got all these great things planned. And it's like all the way along, everything has just been, it's just like someone who's really bothered about making a point about the fact that they've always been there. Before you can even finish the question, there's all these moments where it's so evident that he was there that you can't even finish the question. I mean, this is massive. This is the whole thing about unconditional love is news to me. It's news, and I'm I'm driving down today, and every time we do any singing, anytime there's any worship, anytime I start crying, like crying every time, because there's this thing where they do the Spirit, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want anything to do with that. I don't be writhing on the floor like an idiot, so I'm not interested. And Harry's going, yeah, well, like, your best friend isn't going to make you look stupid, are they? So you don't need to worry about that. So it's just mind blowing, and I am literally being transformed. I'm literally being remade. I always have this thing about, who was I supposed to be before all this happened? Who was that little girl? And this, who I am now, yeah, it's great, but it's not what was meant to happen. It's a mistake. I'm just making the best of a bad job, and always coming from that. But it's, and you can't go back to that, so it can't ever change. But actually, it's like Jesus had a hand in the whole thing. And that who I am, everything I want, is on the other side of me being afraid to be truly vulnerable and to receive as well as give. I just feel like in a way, I'm totally unprepared for whatever's happening. But whenever I show up, it's like I have this entourage of invisible forces with me that make everything great for others, and also give me a way to step further, to get bolder, to deepen my faith and find a new way forward.